Yeah, last night the power went off again. And it was weird because when it went off, I didn't have anything to do. It was so pitch black. Everyone's power went out everywhere. It was so pitch black. I even walked outside to try and, film how dark it was. It was so creepy because it was so pitch black you couldn't see like right next to you. You couldn't tell like if there was something right there, you couldn't tell. It was so I tried to get that and I came in and there was just nothing to do. Sit here. You can't just run your phone battery down listening to music or whatever. And there's no internet. There's nothing that works. The phone doesn't, nothing works. And so I just decided that I would, do little videos and talk to my friend because we were in the middle of a conversation when it went off. I mean, I was like right in the middle of talking and it just went off. And so I just thought, oh, I'll just continue this conversation. I'll just do it on my video and then I'll send it to her later. So I was doing that, but I was videotaping how dark it was and showing. And then I started noticing, oh my gosh, there's things flying all around. And I started like looking, you couldn't see anything flying. And like right now, it's daytime, I don't see anything. I even got my phone out before it got too light to see. And, there was a couple, but it wasn't the same. Last night, there was just hundreds and hundreds of these things flying all around. And they would come right up and they would fly, go all over, and they were coming right up to me and then going around me and stuff. And I put it on TikTok and there was people who said, oh, that's dust. It was like, I don't know. My dust normally just goes out and falls back down. I've never seen dust, take off in flight and go around and follow each other and, hey, let's go over here, let's go over there. I've never seen that before with dust, but, we all see what we want to see. And to me, it seemed like it was some kind of definitely an energy. It seemed, it kind of gave me the idea of like little spritz or fairies or something, And it reminded me of when I was painting the house last spring, and it was at the beginning of spring, and I was up on the ladder, and all these little tiny spiders were just coming down all over the place, coming down like they had just hatched out, and they were on these little tiny webs, and they were just swinging in the wind. And I felt like I could hear them just giggling and just so happy and having so much fun. Like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing in the world. Oh my gosh. And just imagine what that would be like. You're just born and you just, oh, the air and, I can make a little thing and hang on it. And, you could feel their excitement. And that's what it felt like to me. It felt like this excited new energy. And, being in the forest, I know that there's a lot of, that's a place that's supernatural, is magical. And, I'm indoors. I don't know, I had just never seen anything like it. And I did it for hours, taping them. And they just kept coming and going around. And some are bigger than others. And they were just going all over the place. And I stood up and they'd fly right up to me. And I'm holding my thing, and they come right up to the camera, and then they go around, and it was crazy. And if it was gnats or something like that, you would have feel them, and most of them, they just go right in your mouth or right in your nose. They don't care. They don't go around you. So yeah, it was fascinating, and it wasn't scary or anything like that. Like somebody had posted, well, your dogs would protect you. They would let you know if something dangerous. And yeah, the dogs are on high alert though lately because I think they can feel like they know what's going on. Like this is planetary, what's happening. And I'm sure, all of nature is feeling it. Humans are a little slow on the uptake because we are constantly being, programmed and indoctrinated. And, most people can't imagine life unless it's been told to them. they're told to, no, that's crazy. Don't listen to that talk. That's crazy talk. And they comply. And, like I've said a million times, I was on the other side of that. Because I was one of those people who went around saying, hey, ghosts are real, aliens are real, all of that stuff. And, you get bullied. You're very bullied if you say stuff that doesn't go along with the narrative. And, and I started doing it a long time ago because I knew, my inner knowing knew. I didn't know why they were telling different. Didn't make any sense, but, things make sense now. And, but it didn't feel scary at all. It felt kind of, just exciting. Like they were just excited. They were just traveling. They were just on the move. And it seemed like they were coming down the hall and going out this way. Like they were just traveling right through. They weren't, and they can go through walls and stuff. Energy, especially that kind. They don't sit there and think, there's a wall. Can I go around it? No, I think they were coming up to me because they were curious. What's that? What's that? Oh, gosh, what's that? Go, 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 go. It was, I thought it was really cool. And I'll do it again when the lights go out next time and film some more and see. But that could be occurring like right now, like this energy movement that goes through the forest. And it just so happened that it was just so dark. And the candles, I could have just sat here with just the candlelight and just relaxed and meditated. And it was just because that conversation got cut off that I started, decided to film and show her, how dark it was and what was going on. And, I wouldn't have even known that, but I'm imagining that they're going through all day, every day, going through the forest. And, I just say, I think it's really cool. And another thing too that is really bothering me, even how the people just keep staying divided. Oh, it's the Democrats. Oh, it's the liberals and all that stuff. Those are all labels and stuff that they, gave us to keep us divided. But that's not where we should be divided. We should be divided between living beings and globalists that want to kill us. That's where the real division is. The rest of us are all just living beings. We can't be called human beings anymore because that would be divisive, wouldn't it? Because they're changing that name now too. Because they've always got to mess with the words anyways. They've always got to mess with everything. This is a constant science experiment. But the thing that gets me is, these people who are so focused right now on this Yahoo, who was supposedly, the leader, and because of his, his group that he calls himself, Democrat or whatever, I just was thinking about, who was the president during September 11, and who was president during Katrina, because people have got to see it is not just this one group that's out to get us. They just go back and forth to trick us, to keep us off balance, to keep us arguing, to keep us fighting. They're all in the same group. They just go in and, oh, I'll play this team this week. It's all a game. It's all lies. And, you got to see through the illusion. And, I was thinking about with Katrina, like how many kids, went missing during that? And young girls, young boys too. They don't care. They probably needed a bunch or something. So, hey, what better way? Let's just create a crisis and, kill a bunch of people. It's a good thing. And, let's take all the kids. It's so disgusting. And I wish I would have known what Planned Parenthood, what their real agenda was, when I supported them. You know, I was like, yeah, everybody should have freedom, even though I knew girls who used it like as a form of birth control, and I was like, I don't understand this. But I still didn't feel like I had the right to choose for somebody else. I still felt like, you know, this is their stuff. They're gonna have to realize themselves. You know, you can't, you know, police the whole planet. You can't police everybody. So yeah, I was all, you know, okay, it's freedom of choice. I didn't know what they were doing in the minority communities, you know. If I would have known, I would have never said that. But, you know, look at how much that goes against, you know, people think like if you go against them, you're going against freedom. No, that's not it, really. You're going to try and stand up for these minorities to stop the genocide that is going on in these communities and has been going on since the beginning, since the first one popped up. You know, they're not getting the same kind of treatment as you know, the suburban girl who's going there. You know, those kids, they could be marked for, you know, later kidnapping kind of situation. Oh yeah, that mom, go get that kid. But they were purposely getting these little black babies because of, you know, they've got pure essence inside of them that they want, that they survive off of. And all of these baby parts that, it is, I can't even, it's just so disgusting. You know, if you don't know about this stuff, it's time for you to go and start looking into it for yourself. You know, anything I would say is just going to sound completely crazy. You got to see it for yourself. You got to look at it and see it. Once you see it, you're going to feel sick. So be prepared. I have not heard anybody yet that's been able to see the truth who is not devastated by it. It's really horrible. So just yesterday too, I saw this woman on TikTok. I may have already talked about this. I don't know, I'm just getting so confused at this point. But she does some sort of Google Maps, and then she'll do her TikTok. She'll look in and she'll look at a place. She finds these weird places and she goes in and she looks at them. She goes in and starts reading reviews. She starts going in and looking at who did the reviews, goes in and looks at their social media, goes in and like looks up words that they're using. I mean, she does a lot in 3 minutes. And yesterday when she was I saw 2 yesterday that were just haunting me, like really haunting me. The one in Utah of the Freemasonry building. I think it was called the Freemasonry building. I'd have to look again. It was one of those buildings like that. And the stuff, it's disturbing. It's so disturbing. And then, you know, she went through and she told like what they do, you know, what they say they do. Not what she says they do, what they themselves say they do. She looked up the words, and it was extremely disgusting. It was definitely, you know, the Gentleman Club for Chimo. And then it was, she went up on the roof, and there was so much blood stains on this roof. Oh my God, there was drag marks. There was a place that looked like helicopter lands with a giant big pool of blood right there. That was so horrible. When you know what's going on. And this isn't a neighborhood. Oh God, it's so horrible. Another one she showed, and it said it was a restaurant in Mexico. So she went and looked, and it wasn't, or it was at a game center. It was some kind of place. went and looked. She just so happened to catch people. At the time she was looking, was in an alley with this big door. It was no sign, nothing. It was completely clear. It wasn't really what it was saying that the building was. There was a lookout at the end of the alley, and there was a man with this tiny little blonde girl. And she had two little ponytails. And he was trying to get her to go in, and she was trying to get away. And all I could think about was the red room. This stuff has got to stop. Just really got to stop. You know, I understand that there's no death, and I understand that things feel so much more painful and stuff when you're alive and seeing it, and we all learn from it. And we expand. Like, we're expanding as a society. We're coming together. Even when they've tried to keep us so divided, we're coming together. I'm really, God, I can't even sleep. Just keep picturing that roof and that little girl trying to get away. And, that, I don't know, I'm sure I've talked about it before, when they busted that one red room, and it made it in like the Belgian newspaper or something. And, I can't remember. I remember the guy, but I can't remember. He did a whole investigation into this whole thing with the red rooms and stuff. And, it's hostile. It's fucking hostile. Hostile is real. It was a real, go watch The Hostels. There's 3. They're documentaries. They're not entertainment. They're not movies. They're not horror films. They're horrible. They're horrible documentaries of what these people really do. And they do it all the time to little kids. I mean, because they want that. They want that blood that is charged up and pure, because, they're vampires and they believe that's how they survive. I just, some of these relics, I really wonder how old they really are. I'm just, I don't know. It's just one of those days, I think, that's going to be a heavy one. And I don't know if I'm going to have power all day. And it's just windy and rainy and cold, and it already feels like we went into the dark winter, It was barely any summer. It went straight into fall. And then it's right away going into winter, and, they want to convince us it's climate change. Yeah, they're not messing with it. They don't do anything. They have no control over this habitat they've created. Yeah. Everybody's just, everybody's just going to have to just wake up, as we just come together more and more. That's our only way that we're going to survive, is us unified, to come together and to fight for our rights. I don't understand why people are still paying any bank debt or anything. If we all stop, just like if we all stop going to the store, we all stop, supporting them. We bankrupt them. They're trying to bankrupt us all the time. We've got to come together and just say, hey, guys, nobody pay your bills. We'll just, pay your power bill, because they'll turn that off. They don't give a shit. But all that other stuff, I mean, what are they going to do? Come take everybody out of their homes, come take everybody's car away, take everybody's credit away. You know, they made their whole credit score and all that stuff, all bullshit. All of it. So we would try a little bit harder, try a little bit harder, a little bit harder, you know. But it is us all coming together and seeing, you know, just like, you know, these pilots and doctors and these upper class people who, you know, couldn't relate to the poor people or the minorities, you know, and now it's hitting them. Now they're seeing, now they're having to bear witness to what's going on, you know, when they were trying to police the flights and segregate and, you know, be dismissive to people. Now they're having to, and the doctors too. The doctors, they are really going to be faced with a lot. I mean, because the Nuremberg trials, I mean, the trials, I don't even know what they're going to call these ones. But once you've broke the treaty or whatever that you weren't allowed to do from the Nuremberg trials, and they're doing it, like, they're going to be in, you know, I don't know, or they're going to be hanging from a noose or facing a firing squad or whatever. It's not going to be good, you know. But we all have an internal guidance, and it's following your internal guidance and stop following this other guidance. That's the guidance you got to release, is the control, what they tell you to do. You got to release that and stand strong in your own identity. Stand strong for yourself. And, you know, then we come together. You know, we've got the bigger team. They better be scared, because we outnumber them by a lot. And, you know, the movement is going faster and faster. It's picking up speed. And more people are coming together and understanding who the real enemy is. So if you are in support of these enemies, you probably need to start, you know, reconsidering where you stand and start looking at things from a new perspective, because things are about to get even crazier. So just be strong and remember to keep working on yourself. And, you know, we're going to get through this, and, you know, and we will never let this happen again. Never.